everyone, and welcome to Football Friday with the Buffs. It's our first edition, and who better a player to have on than my main man, Tobias Harris. Tobias, it's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too.
This year, an All-American in three different categories: AP All-American, D2Football.com All-American, and then the American Football Coaches Association All-American. Junior now, defensive back, and also return specialist for the Buffaloes. And Tobias, obviously we're doing this in different circumstances right now. Crazy time that we're going through, but you seem to be doing well. How are you and how are your family doing?
We're good. We're staying safe. I feel like this time is really important to be with family because you can see how quick everything can be taken away. So I feel like we're just enjoying each other's company. It's really more important now than ever.
How does it feel to be the first guest on the show? You know, normally these things are reserved for quarterbacks, offensive players, but you get a win for the defense here today.
Yeah, it feels pretty cool. You know, it's changing up my day than just sitting here at school and Madden. So it's really cool to be the first player on here, especially the D boys. So.
There you go. And we'll talk about Madden here in a little bit. The spring game was actually supposed to be Saturday, this Saturday on April 18th. I think you guys were able to get in just a few practices before all of this changed. And from the athletic side of things, Tobias, how have you adjusted to the new life?
I feel like it's different. It's not a coach screaming at you. You got to be more accountable to yourself. You know, if you don't wake up and work out, nobody's going to scream at you for it. So you have to be accountable, and you can only determine how good you're going to be. I really needed a spring ball. I feel like there were some games last year I could have been more dominant. So spring ball was helping me understand better, and then I could have a whole year with Coach Harris and understanding his scheme and how he likes things and stuff like that. So I felt like I was just getting a better understanding of the defense and a better understanding of how I play. And it just got cut short, so I got to make up for that right now.
You know, and everybody else is in the same situation. All the other teams, obviously no one is out there practicing right now. Who knows when we'll get back, but hopefully it'll be soon.
Yeah,
What do you think will be some of the biggest keys, I guess, to the team's success with such a long layoff once you guys are able to get back on the field?
I believe chemistry. You know, at the end of the day, the football is going to be football, but teams that win are usually just the teams that can bond together. So this spring was supposed to be a time that we really get close and really trust each other and get to know one another, and also for the young ones to understand the playbook better. You know, I'm not afraid to admit it. I really didn't understand the playbook my freshman year and barely understood sophomore year. So this was a time the coaches were breaking it down slower and we could understand what's going on. So now for red shirts and people who don't really understand the playbook, it's going to be all at once because if the season starts on time, it's going to be real fast. And then it's about bonding. We have to bond real quick and get those little brotherly fights out the way.
You're a hard worker. You're a grinder. And you love the weight room. What has it been like just in terms of that routine and staying disciplined with your workouts?
I think ever since I was a kid, I've always had like a hard discipline workout and routine because I never want to be mediocre. And I've always heard the person over the hill is always going to work harder than you. So I'm always trying to beat that person over the hill. So I wake up and I go to class. I mean, I sit in an online class.
Yeah.
And then after that, I usually work out in the morning, maybe run a little bit, do some body workouts because I don't have a weight room. So everything I had to do was just body. And then after that, I just relax because, I mean, I got to be healthy come the season. So yeah. I think this time it's good. It's a blessing and a curse because it's a curse because you don't get to be with your teammates, but it's a blessing because there's not much stress on my body. So stuff that maybe couldn't get healed as fast because I'm playing football all the time and working all the time, but now I can rest because after I work out and after I go to school, I don't really do much.
I've known this about you really since the first practice when I saw you as a freshman out there with the hoodie on. I figured out pretty fast you're very social. You like to talk. You like to have fun. You love being around people, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why the fans love you like they do. What has it been like for you, someone who loves to be around people so much during a time when we've had this social distancing?
It's difficult because I just sit inside and just don't really talk as much. I feel like the type of person I am is I'm open to some and quiet to others.
Yeah.
When I walk in a room, if I don't know anybody, I'm real quiet. But then at like on a football field or places I know people, I'm more talkative because I feel more like a family, and I just wear my heart on my sleeve, and I just let it be, and I let people know who I am. But sometimes I'm real closed off. So like times like this, I still talk to people and still, do that, the usual me. But sometimes I just like to be by myself and just be in my thoughts because I feel it's real therapeutic to me. A lot of people don't know that. I like that therapeutic side.
Yeah. You miss talking trash to the wide receivers, to the running
Yeah.
backs, and maybe even to Coach Freeman, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little bit. I think he might miss that with you too as well, Tobias. What you've accomplished in just 2 years has been incredible. I mean, I mentioned the All-American Awards, all conference awards in a very tough, I think the toughest conference in the nation in Division II in the Lone Star Conference. You're second in program history in interceptions with 10 already. And then obviously this last year, you broke the single season and the career records for punt return yardage. You're a playmaker. I mean, last year on my calls in terms of the broadcast, I basically would say when the other team was punting, I would say this guy has a warning label. If I were you, I would not kick it to him. So, but I say all that to set this up. I want you to tell people a little bit. You've told me before that a big part of your game is the chip on your shoulder, and just that story of undersized, maybe not recruited by some of the bigger schools, and you've carried that with you, and it's been pretty cool to see.
Yeah, again, like I told you during my recruiting process, a lot of people would talk to me and then they'd leave me on red. They wouldn't answer my calls. And a lot of times it was because I'm short, and it kind of left the chip on my shoulder that I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. And I still feel like I still haven't proved everybody wrong because I do have these awards, but a lot of those awards that I've taken from people, they went to a playoff. I've never been to a playoff. That's right now, that's the most important thing to me. If I never break another award again, I'll be okay because I want to be able to play in a playoff atmosphere. I want to bring a championship to WT. I feel like that is something I've never played in high school. I've never played in it. So I want to experience that. Those memories will live forever. My awards and those will be broken again. Somebody else is going to come along and take those. A playoff berth and a championship, that's something me and my brothers can all celebrate. And I feel like that to me is way more important than the little awards I get here now.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, the Buffs win 6 games. Last year, 8 games. And I think WT was knocking on the door in terms of making the playoffs. Just a few games that, a few breaks go our way. Maybe we do make the playoffs, but we didn't. It's been closing in on 7 years since WT made the playoffs. So what is it? And I know you haven't had that spring practice time with your teammates, Tobias, but what is it that you feel will be special about the 2020 season for the Buffs to be able to get over the hump and make the playoffs?
I think me personally, when I first came in as a freshman, there was a lot of people on the team that were really young. And if you can see the senior graduate class, they're only graduating a little. It's not like the whole team is leaving. So my first freshman year, we're all young, and LSC is real old. Like I didn't realize how old a lot of people in LSC were. So I'm 18 playing with a bunch of 23, 24-year-olds.
Yeah.
So that's different. So my sophomore year, we're all growing. A lot of people aren't leaving. We're all growing that chemistry together. And so when we had that little chemistry and we're growing with each other, we're going through spring, we're going through the fall, we're going through practice, we're going through fights, we're hugging one another, we got each other's back. We're not the most athletically talented team, but we have a brotherhood that can't be broken. And so that's shown through our last year. And we just had a few games that didn't go our way, but we can't dwell on those. So this year coming up, we have some key losses, but again, we don't have a lot of people graduating.
Yeah.
And those can be replaced. Everyone can be replaced. So I think this year we felt really confident, as in we're only getting stronger, we're only getting older, everyone's only understanding each other, and we're all becoming more accountable, So I think that is going to help us in the long run of this year.
Last year felt like there was a complete buy-in from the
Mm-hmm.
players to exactly
True.
what Coach Hughes and the other coaches were preaching, and it was you could see it on the field.
You can really, I think my freshman year, Coach Hughes is not gonna like me for saying this, but my freshman year, it kind of was more of a Coach Hughes was kind of put his stamp on there, and then over the years, Coach Hughes has honestly became more of a player coach. He's becoming more of someone we can talk to. He talks to us more, he understands us more, and I feel like that right there makes the players believe in him. And by the players believing in him, we all will run through a wall for him because he talks to us more, he cares about us more. He tells us he loves us. He talks to us more than just about grades, about graduating, about home life. And that just little gesture right there makes us all feel like, we're more than just a football player to him. We're like family to him, and that right there just makes us all buy in to the process.
Okay, so now it's time for some quarantine questions to find out. We're all going crazy, Tobias, in terms of just how everyone is dealing with this. So first one I have here is just, you mentioned Madden. So video game or some TV shows, some things that have kept you entertained, I guess, during the last several weeks.
Yeah, all I do is play Madden.
Yeah.
I love Madden. I just play that all the time. I be beating on the teammates and stuff like that. They don't really want to play me anymore. Then I watch like Netflix movies and stuff like that, just classics and stuff. So I think that's what just entertains my time. It takes up most of my day. So that's all I really do.
And you're pretty good at Madden, I guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. A lot of people don't know. I actually play the controller backwards. So like you know how the ends. So let me see if I have it. So like a lot of people play controller like this.
Yeah.
I play the controller like this.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all, Tobias.
Probably beating them bad like that, and it frustrates them. But it's all love.
That's cool. That's cool. Is anytime you're at home so much now that the pantry seems to always be open. Is there a food or a snack that's been hard for you to refuse?
I've eat some cereal, so that's been my thing.
Nice. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I love it. My son likes that too. Okay, what's something unique that you have tried to do or that you've learned to do? Like some people are posting these videos about like, hey, I'm cooking now, or I learned to do this certain trade that I never knew how to do before because I've just had time. Have you found anything like that?
Honestly, I have not yet. A few years ago, I learned chess, but I've already learned chess, and I just like kind of play it by myself here and there.
Okay.
I play by myself and like stuff like that.
Okay, we've talked about your coaches, and it was neat for me last year on the coaches show. I was able to have all of the coaches, the assistant coaches came on. I got to learn a lot about them, and I found out they were a very tight-knit group. If you had to be quarantined, just one coach that was stuck with you right now, who would it be?
Honestly, I feel like me and Coach Harris would bat heads too much. We're two alphas, And then
You'd be like two brothers stuck at home, and mom tell them to stop fighting.
We couldn't get along. It would have to be probably. I'm gonna say Coach Houston. We gonna bat heads, but I feel like we will get along better.
Protect the family, Tobias.
Love
it. You talked about Madden. I know who you are playing with. You're playing with your team. My son's team, the Baltimore Ravens. He's not ever going to be a Cowboys fan because in his lifetime, Dallas has not been very good. But that's for another day. Your Baltimore Ravens. What are they going to be able to get to the Super Bowl and maybe win it all? A lot of people thought they were going to do it last year.
I think we're gonna do good. I felt bad. A lot of people were jumping on our bandwagon, and that was a little too much pressure for us. We just trying to. It's good to give Patrick Mahomes a championship. We wanted to see Ludwig support that, so that's why we purposely lost this year. We're just trying to help people. But next year we're gonna have to apply some pressure. Next year we're just not gonna be playing with people. So.
Okay, I really do. I think you could have Chiefs Ravens again, AFC Championship, and winner of that one maybe wins the Super Bowl. Hey, Tobias, it was really good to see you today, man. Thanks for coming on, being the first guest
Thank you.
here. And I hope that you and your family keep doing well. I want to see you out on that field making plays soon, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. All right, that's going to do it for our first show here for Football Friday with the Buffs. Next week, I'll have another guest for you coming on, and I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. And as always, go Buffs.